Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Spumele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember to wear that face mask if you're in crowded spaces. You can take it off if you happen to find yourself by yourself so you can breathe a little bit. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking you if you are going to continue using WhatsApp. This as the information regulator South Africa has raised alarm about its worry that it doesn't follow South Africa's POPI Act. Results of that are coming up later in the program. Firstly, here's what's coming up tonight. We look at the growth of Bitcoin. We also have information on a hackathon on financial services. And our discussion looks at whether South Africa has enough tech innovation. Once upon a time, Bitcoin was known as a currency that was used on underground marketplace known as Silk Road Online. But now more and more companies are accepting it. And you can expect to pay over 50,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. All over the world, there are different conversations on whether cryptocurrencies have real value or not. Bitcoin is the most popular right now. It recently went over 50,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, then dipped, then went back up again. Luno, founded by South Africans, is a platform that helps you trade Bitcoin.
Over the last 6 to 12 months, we saw quite a number of institutions, listed companies listed on the NASDAQ in the US, into the Bitcoin space. So we've had MicroStrategy, a listed company in the US. We've had Square, which is owned by the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey. So before Tesla, Elon Musk, we've had 2 or 3 other large corporations entering the market and buying Bitcoin to the tune of $650 to $700 million.
Luno says more than 1 million new accounts were opened on the platform in the last 2 months. This as there is a hugely growing appetite for cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. Billionaire South African entrepreneur, also the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, has endorsed Bitcoin heavily when he bought loads through his companies. This got many interested. Joe Berger, Dinilohlanga Mekuto, is one of the over 1 million who opened Luno accounts in the last 2 months.
So I didn't have much expectation, but after I had done my research, I understood that there's a lot of potential in this thing because I got to understand the technology backing it.
Durbanite Ngobi Kunene hasn't been so lucky. He opened a Luno account in 2020 and lost money.
Started using Luno app towards the end of last year because I could see a lot of my friends and people around me making money on it, and they've been speaking about cryptocurrency and it was doing so well, ever since lockdown started. So I wanted to try it out myself and see how it goes. And I started trading in Bitcoin actually, and it didn't actually go very well for me because I think I first lost 2,000 Rand when I tried to invest with Bitcoin. Reason being, I had deposited 2,000 with this other lady who was helping me. And then a week later, she told me that I needed to deposit more money in order for me to make my profits. So that's how I kind of lost money. There's another guy that I spoke to, I won't mention the name, but he was with a different company and he was speaking about being an expert trader, and he's also using Luno. So I was like, you know what, let me just deposit 5,000, try it out, because I really wanted to try this cryptocurrency thing. So when I was trying it out, he also, a week later, told me that I needed to deposit about 14,000 Rand plus in order for me to get like 150,000 Rand back. And he actually had a reference. He had someone who contacted me and he was like, okay, this guy's legit, try him out and you're gonna make money out of him. And I was like, you know what, let me just go for it, since I got like someone who knows the app, who's been using the app and been making money, even though I did not have any assurance that he was really using the app. So I took a chance. So I gave him the 5,000. He wanted 14,000. I didn't have 14,000. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop using Luno, like just not use it anymore.
The South African Revenue Service now wants to know who's making big money through trading in cryptocurrencies. Reports say they want those people to start paying tax. Some say buy this online money and keep it there, watch it grow. Don't withdraw it immediately. Something Dinilo Hlanga says he is doing.
I'm an investor, so I hold for the long term. They have a term that they use, they say it's HODL, HODL, hold on for dear life, that's what it stands for. But it also means hold, right? So when I buy a stock or when I invest into something or put money into something, I'm looking at it on the long term instead of just putting in and taking out on the profits that you've just gained.
There have been scams as well, like the one that collapsed in South Africa, known as MTI. It's been reported to have been the world's biggest crypto scam in the last year. We often talk about smart cities and all that you need in those smart cities. That includes functioning digital financial services. Well, Sandile Hlangani went to a hackathon that is going to look at those financial services.
The race has begun. Cities around the globe are moving at high speed in the hopes of being named the leader in innovation. When the line is crossed, where do you hope to be?
With more than 20,000 in prizes, this two-day hackathon brought together developers and entrepreneurs from all over the country to craft solutions for the future of digital payments.
We want to call upon the public from all walks of life, whether you are a software developer or a front-end, back-end developer, whatever it is, to come through and showcase your skills and just work together as a community to grow and to help this country grow.
South Africa needs all the help it can get if it wants to have the smart cities that the president envisions. Digital payment solutions are a huge part of that.
The Lanseria Smart City, the first new city to be built in a democratic South Africa, is now a reality in the making.
Teams that participated were tasked with designing innovative prototypes for a standalone banking application.
We have come to understand that during the sort of distribution of the COVID grant, that has been completely digitized. However, there still remains room for all the other grants to then follow same suit.
The whole overall objective is how do we make the SABC grant payment system much more easier for our senior citizens, our veterans, and just anybody and even our unemployed citizens. And that's our objective for this hackathon.
Judges scored teams on their prototypes' innovation value.
So it's very much around team spirit. It's around their idea and the applicability of their idea.
This competition starts with these guys and their vision for South Africa.
So we're trying to digitalize our country because of the pandemic. I think it's time for us to be digital. So we're trying to have, coming up with an idea that will solve our nation.
Teams have full ownership of everything they build here and are free to do anything with it.
We at the foundation also very much support carrying the ideas through. So not only hosting these hackathons, but being able to offer students the ability to have access to mentorship and coaching post these events. If they very well foresee, having a startup of their own.
Insert team won this year's Empire Foundation Digital Hackathon for a system that aims to make digital payment easy and secure.
It would be nice for us to be able to progress with our idea and sort of develop a fully working system by the end of a certain period of time.
Fun, thought-provoking.
Empire Foundation is the proud supporter of those who not only change the way consumers and businesses alike transfer money, but of those who usher a new era of payment technology.
We hope these can go beyond hackathons and we can find real solutions that we can use in the real world. Now, with COVID-19, many around Africa are finding innovative solutions that can help fight the spread of the virus. Let's go to Nigeria now, where young girls have built a robot they hope can help.
This is My Robot, a coronavirus care robot that was built by young students from Nigeria. The students built the machine in hopes that it can one day help hospitals remotely treat COVID-19 patients.
We tried to figure out a solution to that particular problem, because without the healthcare workers, who would be the people taking care of COVID-19 patients? So My Robot was born because we were looking for a way to reduce the physical contact between healthcare workers and infected COVID-19 patients.
Some of My Robot's functionalities include taking temperatures, transporting medicine, and allowing medical workers to communicate with patients with a webcam and screen. David Adeniyi is the teacher overseeing the robotics team. He says the students hope to make My Robot commercially available one day.
Right now, we are working on upgrading of My Robot to meet up to international standard, whereby when you see it, you can put your money on it and buy it.
The robotics team at the Gliston International Academy in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, first started trying to build the machine by collaborating online, but eventually had to come together to finish the project in their lab. It took about 3 months to build the remote-controlled cabinet on wheels, decked out with a vibrant floral pattern. For these students, the robot's use will not stop at the coronavirus.
And I hope that it will not just stop at this COVID-19 pandemic. Other infectious diseases can also be curbed using My Robot, like Ebola, Lassa fever, and all these other infectious viruses.
In this demonstration, the isolation room door had to be left open for it, and it can only carry medication, so patients would self-administer while a nurse watches over the camera.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. After the break, we chat about whether South Africa is a country that's innovative in the tech solutions people come up with. It is the SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News network at sabc.co.za. On email. Welcome back. Now, tech innovation is often a very sore issue when we think about the case of South Africa. You find that a lot of those who say they have new innovative ideas can't find funding for those ideas to grow and eventually to make it into market. Now, joining me to discuss this very issue is Tandogazi Nquma Moyo. She is with the Technology Innovation Agency. Hello, and thank you very much for being a part of our network, Tandogazi. Maybe if you can start by telling us about the work of the Technology Innovation Agency.
The agency really supports the translation of research and development outputs where there is a uniqueness or innovation or inventiveness into minimum viable products or products that could be sellable. So that's basically what we do, and we do this in two forms. Financial support, where we provide direct funding to inventors, innovators, and also non-financial support, which is a suite of support towards actual support with expertise, technological expertise, and biotech expertise. We've got platforms in the biotech for the.
Now, if one is looking for funding from you guys, what's the process? What must they do?
Then in terms of our direct funding instruments, we've got a seed fund, a technology development fund, a pre-commercialization support fund, and they go across the innovation value chain, which is really from proof of concept. I mean, the innovation value chain goes from ideation, research and development. Then you've got proof of concept. That where TIA comes in is after the basic research and development, because we've got the National Research Foundation for that, which also reports to the same department that we report in. So the value chain is that then TIA comes in as a second line of support. Say now you've got a proof of principle out of this research or this concept. Now you need to do a prototype. Then we come in with our first instrument, the seed fund, the technology development fund, and then that for the seed fund we normally do calls. We do calls, closed calls, those you call, so those can find on our website in different platforms. We work with incubators, with universities. So you can find this in a number of incubators and universities.
You have a global clean tech innovation challenge. Tell us about that. What happens there?
The 12-month program that we offer to innovators. So some of these innovators are innovators that we funded, and some of them we've not necessarily funded as tier. So we really go out in the market and look for innovators in the clean tech space. So this is people doing stuff in waste management, people doing stuff in renewable energy and so forth.
Now, Dandogaze, what is the state of tech innovation in South Africa, good or bad?
So the state of innovation is really picking up. We are still an immature system in terms of the national system of innovation. But if you look at what has happened or what we've done, our outputs over the past, let's say, 20 years or so, or 30 years or so, we've really done well as a country. So the state of innovation in South Africa is that we've got really great inputs to support innovation. We've got great infrastructure. We've got great scientists. We've got great researchers. We've got great inventors. And we've got quite good universities. And this is made as a testament.
All right, Dandogaze Nquma Moyo from the Technology Innovation Agency. Thank you very much for being a part of our network tonight. And with that, let's take a short break. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Welcome back. Here's what else took place in the rest of the world in the tech space.
A new Spanish bill has sparked controversy among food delivery riders as it aims to make digital platforms such as Volvo, Deliveroo, and Uber Eats hire their riders, providing more legal security and protection to workers of the gig economy, forcing a business reshape for the whole sector in Europe.
Lo que nos apasiona de este trabajo es la libertad. Poder trabajar cuando queremos, poder salir a trabajar cuando necesitamos. Si necesitamos más trabajo o tenemos más gastos de alquiler, pues vamos a trabajar doble, extras. Nadie nos va a decir que, oye, no puedes trabajar.
While many riders will welcome the security of a staff position, hundreds of other riders have been staging protests across Spain to demand an amendment of the bill that includes the option to remain self-employed. And now in Sweden. Chinese-owned motoring company Volvo says that its entire car lineup will be fully electric by 2030, joining a growing number of automakers planning to phase out fossil fuel engines by the end of this decade. The Swedish-based car maker said 50% of its global sales should be fully electric cars by 2025 and the other half hybrid models.
It is in line really with our sustainability commitment. That's one answer. Customers are asking more and more for electric cars, and the transition, we believe, will be faster than maybe we thought a year ago.
Electrification is expensive for car makers, and as electric vehicles have fewer moving parts, employment in the car industry is expected to shrink.
The information regulator South Africa says it wants a meeting with WhatsApp owner Facebook. This is to discuss the fact that it feels that rules in Europe with the new privacy policy are not the same as South Africa. They also say that they are worried that it doesn't abide by South Africa's POPI Act. So with this in mind, we ask you whether you still want to continue using WhatsApp. Now, 31% of you say, yes, you will be using WhatsApp. There's 30% of you who say, no, you will not be using it. At 6% are people who say they've already left. That is in the minority. We also have 33%, just a slight majority. Those people say they are not sure just as yet. All right, so that's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's News Network at sabc.co.za on email. And remember to always wear that face mask. The reason I don't have mine on is because I'm holding it and I'm not in the middle of a crowd right now. From me, Siphumelele Zondi and the rest of the network team, have a good one. It's good night.